Hey everyone, welcome back. I know I'm a little late on this one, but we're going to get it done. This is Stephane Humbert, Mortal Skin, full bottle of it. The presentation on this thing is just unreal. For $300, you can't get better presentation than this. It's gaudy. It's just absolutely fantastic. Bottle-wise, the aesthetics can't be beat. Look at this thing. Ouch. No, it didn't actually hurt. Here we are. So in the typical fashion of Stephane Humbert, you kind of have this weird, pointy, it looks like an inverted strawberry. But I guess like there's like some Middle Eastern inspiration in this. And the whole line is kind of this strange, I call it Egyptian space magic, because everything, all those fragrances are just really weird and out there. And they kind of smell like something like paranormal, surreal, like not like an actual fragrance. It's just something different, a vibe. And this is no different, and definitely no different. So I've read, and that these are Swarovski crystals. I know most people are like, oh, whatever, I don't care. But I think it's an interesting touch that they did this on the bottle. Of course, you have the snake, and you can see my reflection on my phone. Beautiful bottle. I mean, it's just opaque black, and then you have this black wrap around there. So it's supposed to be like a dark, spooky fragrance and everything. Sexy fragrance. Notes are, please go to Fragrantica for this one, but here's what I remember. It's blackberry, incense, you have ink, of course, you have Popanax, you have Styrax, you have olibanum, you have cardamom, you have labdanum, you have some florals, some woods, and of course there's a leather note in here that's not on the note list, but there's definitely a leather note in here. Anyways, what I get, because this is all about what I get on my channel, I'm not reading off of Fragrantica note lists. Let me just take it a whiffer. Yeah, so this thing, it's like nothing smells like it. The ink in there, it's so hard to describe ink. If you smelled zoologist squid, you smell the ink in that. If you smelled Comme des Garçons 2, you smell the ink in that. It's not like pen highlighter ink. It's not bitter. It's not sour. It's kind of just this smooth, like you just know in your head when you smell it, it's like blackness. That's the best way I can describe it. If you haven't smelled ink as a note in a fragrance, it's almost impossible to describe besides what I've just told you. Moving on to blackberry. The blackberry is stronger at the beginning, but it tapers off, and then it comes back and tapers off, and it just does this. The whole fragrance. It comes back for a little, you'll get a whiff, and then it's gone. And then it'll just do that the entire life. So it's not really a top note, it's just this reoccurring note, and it'll just leave whimsically. It's just this aloof note. That comes and goes when it pleases. It's pleasant, though, because it'll just have this little change. And you'll just be like, oh, there's a blackberry. But it's not consistent. Consistently, you get that resinous, kind of this like resinous, a little bit of leather. Like there's leather in there. I know it is. It's just, there's something about it. But it's not like strong leather. It's just this little supporting in the back. Because usually with leather fragrances, you get this really just strong on leather dominating it. But leather's the supporting note in this, which I think is very interesting. Very resinous. I mean, some people, like I've heard all kinds of descriptions for this fragrance. Some people say it's the smell of space. Some people say, oh, this is the smell of a secret society. Totally agree with that. Like I said, Egyptian space magic. Like when I smell this, I think of like a pyramid just flying out of the desert like into space. Like that's this fragrance totally. It doesn't smell like anything else. It's just so unique. It's by itself. It's like not even a perfume smell. It's just this aura. It's just this like it just smells like ancient. It smells like just how a person from just this different time and place would smell. It's not like other perfumes. The incense in there, of course, so it kind of gives it this, it's like a Middle Eastern vibe. I think all his fragrances kind of have this Middle Eastern, Mediterranean inspiration. But this one's just totally different, and I love it because of that, because there's nothing like it. Now, it is an eau de parfum. It does have very strong longevity. Sillage is not so strong. It does not reach far. The Mortal Skin, like Wafts from the Loft said, oh, it's like a skin. And it definitely is, totally agree with that. It is not a strong projector. This is a for you fragrance. This is for somebody right next to you or right on top of you fragrance. This isn't a beast mode club bro fragrance because nobody's going to smell it, only you are. But it's going to last the whole night. It'll probably last, I mean, it'll last from morning till night if you spray it on. It's super longevity. But it's something you have to enjoy and you have to like, because this is not for everybody, because it is, I mean, there's nothing mainstream about this fragrance. It just has bizarre notes. The ink, the incense, all the resins, strange florals, that leather. It sounds like when I tell it to you, you're like, ugh, like what is? It sounds like a gross stew of stuff, but together, it's like harmonious, smooth, just another time and place. And that's it. This is one of those fragrances that really teleports you. Like you go somewhere else and you smell like something, a place that doesn't exist anymore. And that's what's so cool and fascinating to me, because a lot of people are like, oh, this transports me to this place. Oh, this fragrance transports me. This one does, because this doesn't smell like anywhere right now that still exists. Like, that's what's so cool about it. And it's hard to describe, because this is one of those fragrances that there's nothing else like it. I can tell you it's similar to some things. You know, it has that inky, if you smelled ink in those seldom other, because ink is such a seldomly used note. So if you haven't smelled it, you know, anyways, I'm starting to repeat myself, but this is one that's a challenging review. This is probably the most challenging review I've done, because it's so hard to describe. It's more of a feeling than a fragrance, and that's the best way I can describe it. It's a place, not a fragrance. It's a person, not a fragrance. It's a time, not a fragrance. That's the best way I can talk to Mortal Skin. It's year-round. I would say fall and spring are the best for it. Summer, you know, a little too hot for it. Winter, it's not even going to leave your skin. It's just not even going to go anywhere. Winter will suppress it too hard, because it just doesn't project. So spring and fall, in my opinion, great bottle. I keep it in the box because I'm like just super anal about like no light, even though like the bottle is completely opaque, like matte black. But anyways, that's what I have to say about Mortal Skin. If you're still watching, I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time.